What is up, nerds? PaulMConti here, along with a crew of drunken misfits. We are trying something a little new. We're calling it WarHAMMERED. We are all here on a Friday evening, or in the case of Ryan, it's a Saturday morning down in Australia. And fuck you for being warm. Meanwhile, the rest of us are here to sulk in. We're all here sulking in the dead of winter, and I think Maroc has frozen to the floor. I'm not sure where he went. But yeah, so this is sort of a new concept that we're trying out. Just having some drinks, talking about Warhammer. Kind of like a paint-a-sode, just with a little bit of structure and a lot of booze. So we're going to see how this goes and have some fun. And I encourage the filters to be off. It is my channel, and I give zero fucks about pretty much anything. Just try to not get my channel banned or blocked or anything like that. So, keep the Nazi salutes to a minimum. We should, move on from there. Crack on, as you Australian folks seem to like to say. So, what are you working on? Anybody?
Working on.
Everybody just sitting there jerking off, or what?
Yes.
I'm not allowed to do it. I'm at a park, but
that makes it better.
There's a difference between can and
dude,
should.
I'm doing it. I'm working on Free Guild again. I had a 2v2 game last night. Echoes, and it's reignited the love. So this morning I was going over all my handgunners and trying to get them ready for paint. So I've got to prime them up and stuff. Meanwhile, touching myself over all the Nurgle leaders.
Yeah, I've got to say, like, all of the Nurgle stuff that's getting previewed makes me really want to start a Nurgle army. Not because, like, I have any interest in actually playing it. It just looks like a really fun army to paint.
It is.
It's so much fun. To the bets of paint.
Yeah, it just feels like you can't fuck it up. Like, oh, that smudge, that stain, that was supposed to be there. That coffee ring, yeah. Yeah, he was spilled something on himself.
Sure, you could wash it to death.
Oh, I cut the head with a.
Where did Maroc go? He's like dead. Did he die of cold?
He got triple dog dared to lick the flagpole.
Shit.
Cold. Like, what are we talking about? How cold is cold?
We were actually just having this conversation before you jumped on the stream. It is currently minus 37 Celsius where he is.
Jesus.
And minus 40 something with wind chill. But he lives so far north in Australia, or I'm not in Australia, fucking in Canada. One of you other loser countries that speak English. He's so far north in Canada, like nobody ever wanted it. Yeah, like
you wish you were Canada, Paul.
Yeah, even the most like aggressive American imperialists never wanted that part of Canada that he lives in.
Poor guy.
Here he is. Welcome back. We've been making fun of you while you were gone.
Awesome. All right.
Yes.
It is freaking cold out.
Yeah.
Wait, you send me your cold, and I'll send you the heat. All right. At least it's easier to get warm than it is to freaking get cold.
Yeah, you know what though? Like, I'll take like throwing on a couple of extra layers over sweating my balls off.
Yeah, like I don't think you want what I got right now. It's currently like minus 48 outside. So Fahrenheit, what did you say that worked out to, Paul?
Almost exactly the same, actually, in Fahrenheit and Celsius. You're in that little sweet spot of where it's just about the same.
So there you go.
No.
Yeah,
That sounds heavy of that.
yeah. Maroc definitely lives in like the nightmarish hellscape of Canada.
That's where they filmed The Thing, right?
That was a
I don't have it as bad as Doom and Darkness. It's, where he is, it's even hotter. Like,
I thought he lived like further south from you.
he's on the western side of the and over there it just doesn't seem to matter how far south you go. It's just always hot as fuck.
Got it.
Even the dirt is like red. It's burnt.
So you're saying it's like Australia's Florida, where it's just
but with
always
nicer people.
no matter what.
Yeah, but with nicer people.
with less Americans.
Yes. Well, I mean, Florida is full of some of the worst Americans, so it is full of the elderly and rednecks for the most part. Yeah.
And still get the rednecks. Oh, okay, well, it's very similar then.
Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about Warhammer and shit, so what are you guys actually working on?
Let's do that.
I know Ryan's just dicking around in the park.
Squigs.
Well, I'm about to go home because I did promise to have a drink with you, so make an Irish coffee because it's too early for anything else. Hang on 1 second. JJ, if you drive that monster truck, break it. So go and take it over there before you find my... Love you too. Okay, that's
what I've got to work on is this bad boy right here.
Came in.
Can I just
Yeah,
say
it did.
that I created that character before they even thought of it being a thing? I'm not even kidding. If you go back in my battle reports to the skirmish games, we actually did a thing where like we took one of the heroes, and whether it was mounted or whatever, you could, like, if it had multiple war scrolls, you could pick what equipment it had. And that was my hero, was a Lord Celestin on foot with sword and shield.
Yeah. Can we talk about how bonkers this guy's command ability is?
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Pretty good.
Like how completely like broken it makes Stormcast again.
Yeah.
In another dimension.
Let's not forget like their like command traits and all that stuff, where you can have like multiple generals use their command abilities. So like you combine his with the Lord Celestin's on foot +1 to hit, and like bonkers.
Yeah. Yeah. Combine that with the Celestin on foot behind a block of 10 Retributors that charge into your opponent on a 6-inch charge after you lightning chariot them into place. I feel like that's really good. You know, doing double mortal wounds on 5s and all the rest hit on 2s. Seems pretty good. Sounds like the basis of a list.
Yeah.
I'm making squig lists. Those are going to be good.
You know,
GT.
they have been like doing shockingly well in actual competitive events. And I have yet to figure out why, other than nobody has ever read the War Scroll for any squigs.
Yeah, there's a process to it. It'll be fun to figure out.
Oh, look at this. I like this.
Unboxing.
It's actually kind of like an unboxing at the same time. Opening up Mr. Gabriel Shorehart here. And this is actually very nice packaging compared to what we usually get.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something. So they charge $10.
Yeah. And you know what I'm excited about is that his shield is not attached to his arm. So you can easily, like, my plan is to shield swap that with one of the kite shields so it actually looks like the rest of my army. And that's going to be a nice, easy swap. I expected that to just be attached to his arm.
Nice.
Pretty good. So, Maroc, what are you working on, buddy?
Well, I was working on, like, my Skin Wolf army and stuff, but, like, all of my opponents that I play with here are, like, super frustrated with it, so I've stopped using them. And I've switched over to my Seraphon again because I want to show them what dirty is. And
Yeah.
so this, I'm working on these guys. This is one of 9 Croxagore that's in the list.
Are those Mears miniatures?
What's that?
Are those Mears miniatures?
No, these are a guy on Lustria Online, like a couple years back, did some 3D printed Croxagore and a Source Hero, and they looked freaking amazing. Like, I got one of them painted. Like, they paint up super nice.
Well, I'm not sure you did that because it's not converted to look like a wolf.
that is a fair assumption. I did this one though. See, if it's not wolves, it's Batman, right?
That's right.
So basically, like, I'm kind of putting everything back together that I need for that, which is like, the list is like the dirtiest Seraphon list I could do without putting a slan in there. So it's like, it's,
30 salamanders?
No. Only 2.
So you're making a Seraphon list? Because if so, it's automatically dirty. Like, you can't make it.
I'm aware.
Not.
See, the problem I was having is that they, like, no one could figure out how to, like, put down my Skin Wolf list. So they were all bitching about it. So I'm going to show them what dirty actually is and bring an Eternal Star Host. So I'm rocking 60 Temple Guard with a 2-up rerollable save, ignoring -1 rend.
I would first of all like to just complain about the fact that you own 60 Temple Guard.
8th edition, bud.
Yeah, 8th edition was a thing.
It was a thing, and that is why I own 60 Temple Guard.
It's messed up.
Yeah,
That's
it
whole
fascinates me, by the way.
Seraphon, just the Rend 1 thing is kind of, it's like having an army full of Tree Lord Ancients. You just ignore Rend. I love it.
Well, it's better than going up against something like the Spirit Hosts or whatever, where you've got an entire army that just ignores Rend altogether.
That is true.
Yeah, instead of that, what you get is just re-roll or failed save. Like,
yeah,
why not?
The one thing that I really want to put in the list, but I'd have to break allegiance to put it in, is to put in a Luminarch, so that they get like a 6-up ward save, because there's like no mortal wound protection in Seraphon at all. Like, it is just not there.
What are the points on a Luminarch?
240.
40. But it's not an ally. Like, the only thing that Seraphon can ally with is Stormcast, which I'm seriously considering putting Knave in, just for like the flourish of attacks, and converting like a really sweet like Berserker Saurus Lord to like count as her.
That sounds good.
Because she's only like 120 points. So like,
I thought she was a straight 100 points. I could be wrong. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I was just looking at her before like we came on here.
Yeah, you probably are
pretty sure she's 120. But I have been before.
Cast heroes are like 100, I think, but she might be a little more.
Yeah, she's 120 points.
Yep.
Which is like totally understandable. It's like she's got a bolt storm crossbow that shoots 3 times, and then when she gets into combat, she's got 7 attacks that hit on 3s, wound on 3s, -1 rend and 1 damage. It's like that is a shit ton of attacks for an itty bitty based model, man. That's huge.
Yeah.
Khorne wants to corrupt the shit out of her.
Maybe they have already. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ah. Spoilers.
Like, can you imagine if you could put her into a Khorne list with like a Blood Secrator, the Blood Stoker, and like an aspiring Deathbringer as your general? Just get her, bump her up to like 9 attacks. Just ridiculous. And like a 9-inch move. Why isn't
just something you shouldn't be allowed to do?
Yeah.
Oh, like that, mixing across allegiances.
Well, I mean, there's always open play, right?
Well,
I mean,
there is always open play.
Do we even know what that is anymore?
No.
I think it is best defined as a bunch of children playing in a sandbox.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down for that. I'm totally down for nonsense.
Open play at the moment is like the appendix of Warhammer. Nobody really needs it, and you kind of forgotten it was there anyway.
Yeah.
And when you actually use it, it could kill you.
Oh dear. So Des, what are you working on?
Lots of squigs. Lots of squigs. A lot of squigs. I have like 50 squigs I'm painting right now. About 20 squig hoppers, and who knows how many night goblins. 100 or so. That's what I'm working on.
You are really putting all your eggs into the Night Goblin basket with that Moon Clan Shaman that just got released, aren't you?
Yep. I've been working on it like the past month or so. I just got the Forge World Night Goblin command in. I've got a Colossal Squig that hasn't made it in yet. I bought a Mangler Squig. I've got lots of fun stuff coming in. I'm hoping to play it as a fun army that I'll get to know well enough to be able to show up at tournaments with it, and people won't be like pissed off when I show up with Hammer Strike. You know what I mean? Squig army, yay! You just tabled me, yay! That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. Oh, cool! You got a Squig army. You can remove me from the board. That's cool.
That's the exact same reaction that I got from the Skinwolves initially, and now everybody's just sick of it.
Yeah. You just have to keep rotating through your bullshit until everybody realizes that like you just bring nothing but bullshit, and they should assume that you're bringing filth regardless of what nonsense you put on the table.
Well, like it's not even filth. Like they're so easy to kill. Like they have a 5-up save and 4 wounds each. Like they're not hard to kill. It's just the movement shenanigans that you can do with them because they can pile in 6 inches and go over top of enemy models. Like I can't even count how many times I've like hopped over a unit in combat, come around to my turn again, retreat out, and then charge into, like, in the following turn, charge into another unit and, like, wipe out a hero. Or, like, or run onto an objective. Like, it's little nuances like that, and, like, people just aren't prepared for the, like, okay, well, my War Shrine's going to let these guys reroll once to hit, and oh, look at that. My Unpredictable Destruction got off on the 5 because I always take Great Destroyer. So it's like, well, now they're hitting you on 2s, getting extra attacks on 4s, 5s, and 6s. So, like, the 24 attacks that they initially start out with goes to, like, fucking almost 40. And then like
You're
they're only at -1 rend, but like they do 2 damage apiece for every wound that gets through. So like I have literally walked them through like a 30 block of Blackguard with like no problem at all. Like it's
I already said it. You're a bad man.
well, it's not even like I don't even see it as like straight, being absolutely dirty. It's more or less just knowing your units and knowing how to use them in unison to get the job done, right? Like it's
Yeah.
like if they realized that I only had a 5-up save and they didn't actually need to get into combat with me, like you could just literally sit across the board, shoot the shit out of me, and like arcane bolt me, and like the army they have a bravery of 5 for fuck's sakes. Like
That's exactly it. I was looking at him. It wouldn't be too hard to like chaff him and just shoot the crap out of him.
exactly. Like I have a Darkling Coven's opponent, and I'm like, he's super frustrated because he can't figure out like how to deal with it, right? It's like the 2 damage
crossbows.
Well, no, it's not even that. Like, you don't even need that. It's like, okay, well, you take your Thrall Host Battalion, right? So you can charge, attack, and pile in and all that crap in the hero phase. You take the there's an artifact that for like once per battle you add 3 inches to every unit within I think it's 6 inches of whoever's got it. So your executioners go from fucking movement 6 to movement 9. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't just be destroying everything. And on top of all of that, like, I want you to think about this. So they're bravery 5, okay? You lose 1 model, so now you need to roll a 4, or you're having a 4-wound model run, like, off the board. Yep. And like, that's a huge deal because they're only units of 6, right? Well, there's a command trait there that if you give it to your general, everyone that with every enemy unit that's within 12 inches of it, if they fail a battle shock test, you roll a D3 and D3 more models run away after the battle shock test is taken. So like that's instantly erasing a fucking unit of skin wolves right there. Like I just like I can't wrap my head around why they're having so much trouble with this.
You need to read the war scrolls. Sounds like.
Yeah, like you can't just charge like an unbuffed unit of executioners into them because like it's just not going to work. Like it can, but
not likely.
Yeah,
are good, but
in theory,
in theory this should work. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh well, I'm within 3 inches over here of your hero too, so I'm just going to kind of pile in this way, and now your hero's dead. So you're welcome.
Sounds like they're not blocking up the table correctly either.
Well, it's like
or...
he's doing everything he should be doing right. Like his crossbowmen are in the back. He's got his heroes kind of in the middle, and then like Blackguard and sort of skirting off his heroes, right? So I can't get to them. So I can't hop over because you've got to pile in closest model to closest model, right? So unless they're 1 line deep, you can't hop over top. But like when it comes down to it, like you charge in with like, I think where his problem is he's charging more than 1 unit in. So if he attacks over here, well, I'm going to activate over here. And now this other unit of executioners that you have is absolutely toast, like just gone. Because I mean, I've got 24 attacks to start. I'm probably going to end up with another 10, like on average, because it's 5s and 6s, right? So, I mean, you've got a 4-up save, go to a 5-up, and it's 2 damage apiece. So you're losing 2 guys for every wound that gets through. Yeah,
not too good.
No.
Seems pretty bad for their team.
So you said that you had some topics. I think now
I did have
time.
So I guess Nurgle? Nurgle is clearly a thing.
Yes.
We're getting like a serious Nurgle release in a book.
Time.
Would you say past the Great Poupon?
It's about fucking time.
It is about time, yep.
Yeah, I mean, we've been anticipating this for like 9 months, so it's nice that we're finally getting it.
Been a year, hasn't it?
I mean, somewhere along those lines.
Like by the time it actually comes out to release, I think it's been a year out that we've been talking about this.
Yep, about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, pretty much as soon as we knew we were getting Tzeentch, we knew we were going to eventually get Nurgle.
It'd be funny if they like released all these pictures of like the battle tome and the models and stuff, and then did an elf release.
Don't even suggest it. Don't even suggest it because Tom is way too excited about all of this. You got new Night Goblin. He's getting new Nurgle. If the next thing is elves, like we're going to hear the explosion of excitement for hundreds of miles around.
We're going to hear the mortgage being rewritten.
We're going to hear the divorce papers being signed.
Oh, yeah. No, they look good. I've been stockpiling Nurgle for a while. I've had a Death Guard army for it's almost 10 years, so I'm kind of excited to add some into it in both Age of Sigmar and in 40k.
What's 40k?
It's that other game that people play. If you want to play tournaments, once or twice a month, you play it too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, honestly, the thing I've got to say about 40K, and I mean this in really no offense to 40K players at large, is just my experience in seeing 40K around shops is like, there's way too many 12-year-olds that play this game. And I really don't want to be around that.
I haven't seen that much, but I don't know. It's my experience. But
yeah. I don't know. It just my observation, and there's something about the game too that just seems like the lore is just way, way too sci-fi cliche. Like it's just over the top sci-fi cliches all over the place, and I just can't deal with that.
It is all over the place, yes, and that kind of makes it fun, its own way. But yeah. Have their own lore.
I have to completely agree with Paul.
That's how it started out. The Horus Heresy books are awesome. I love those books. I read almost all of them.
Yeah, they're really good. Then that's Warhammer 30K, isn't it?
It is. Excellent point.
Yeah. And I would just like to point out already,
Bill,
this little bugger is already finished being constructed, all glued up with a shield swap.
Oh, Paul, for fuck's sakes.
What?
He's not painted yet.
Listen.
Look, haven't you ever heard of sub-assembly? How the fuck are you going to paint behind the shield? What's wrong with you?
All of us have low standards.
Fix that problem. Yeah, ever having trouble with painting behind shields and stuff like that is actually just to not do it at all and pay some other dude to do it. It works for me. Ask Brinley. He's painted like every single miniature I own. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Sometimes I just don't care. I can't see it. I don't care.
Yeah, like if you can't see it, why bother painting it? Why go crazy on it?
Oh my God, Vince, I'm sorry. I do not share the same views as these heathens.
It's like the atheist approach. If you can't see it, it's not there.
That's true.
So,
there's no shield there.
Oh my God. Okay.
So, yeah. Gabriel Sureheart, construction complete.
That was really fun.
Say, just as a quick product review. This guy actually basically went together like those like quick assembly kind of models. And I'm not sure you actually need glue to assemble this guy.
That's awesome. A quick question, and this is very important. How are the mold lines?
I do not see any mold lines anywhere.
Okay, so they didn't do the stupid quick fit fucking seam line across the shoulder pad bullshit.
Yeah, there is no seam line across the shoulder pad.
Awesome. Sold.
Yeah. The seam line across the shoulder pad is driving me nuts on all of my Liberators. It really just makes me want to throw them in the trash and buy like regular Liberators.
I got a quick solution for you. You ready?
Buy shoulder pads and cut them off and replace them?
No. Where the seam line is, you take a X-Acto knife and you just sort of scrape it along like the actual seam itself until it almost disappears. And then you just take like a little bit of like, I don't know. You could use like super glue, I guess, but gloss varnish works best because it's thicker. Or that would work too. Yep. You just run it along the seam and then wait for it to set, and then gently run the X-Acto knife over it again, and it'll smooth it right out and it'll disappear. It's a lot of work, but it'll save you even more work trying to cut them off and then put new ones on. Also save you money of like not having to buy like the regular Liberators.
Or he could just see.
Yeah, because there's really no point in doing that. It's amazing the amount of the Stormcast army that you can build off of like starter set Liberators.
Oh yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
And bit. Because they're all basically the same model with different doohickeys on them.
Oh. Just a second.
I think he was freezing to his chair.
Okay, so speaking of like what we were talking about before we went live here about how like I created that guy like a year before he came out.
Yep.
Proof's in the pudding right there.
There he is.
I would like to point out that none of these Stormcast are in fact werewolves, therefore
Let's not go there, okay? We all know it's the wolf cast.
All right. So speaking of blank cast Eternals, what do you guys think of the idea that of death cast? Do you think this is actually happening, or do you think this is just some sort of like lead in to something that's different?
Okay. I hope it happens, but in a totally different way. I don't want to see Nagash like stealing souls from Sigmar, like taking the Stormcast souls back. What I want to see is him do like a terrible like mirror image, but in his own sort of way. So like taking souls that he already has and putting them into an image that has the same silhouette of like say a Liberator, but looks like the Harbingers and the Morghast Archive, like that type of armor style.
Looks like Daylords.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I anticipate if we get anything that is somewhat like in the fluff, like Deathcast Eternals, that they are not going to be in like Stormcast armor but death guys. Like, I think it's going to be the fluff is they used to be Stormcast and Nagash stole their souls, but now they're just death dudes that are super soldiers. Like, I don't think we're going to get, like, you know, basically like a Liberator that's turned death. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think that it would be the laziest fucking thing I've ever seen GW do if they went, we need new death things. Well, why don't we just make Liberators with like shinier eyes and shittier armor, and we'll just call them Deathcast? And then someone's going, you know, around the table, my God, that's brilliant. Print them. They'll sell like hotcakes, boys. No, I can't see it. I'd like it. It'd be pretty cool, but I think at the same time, it'd be the laziest thing they've ever done. To just not even bother with like extending the Death Rattle Skeleton Horde line, which please do. But to actually, just make Stormcast dead. Like, it'd be cool if Nagash sort of took their souls and then turned them into something completely different, so they were, warriors still, and they knew that and everything, but not in that armor. Like, it's something that it'd need to change. There'd need to be a change. Otherwise, they might not, they may as well just not even release models at all. You may as well just buy the Liberators in packs and then just paint them for death. Like,
I'd be totally like corrupted armor, like Nurgle. Like, if they took like what Primaris armor is to Nurgle, like Stormcast would be to death. If they really like made it look unique, I'd be totally okay with it.
Yeah, it'd still make my pants go tight, but I just think it'd be a bit lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. Maligned Portents.
Oh, now
What do you
you're
guys
talking.
think?
It is. Oh, I don't even care what it is anymore. I'm just like, bring me death. Bring me death and make sure there's skeletons, because I've got two of the Skeleton Horde getting started boxes and 2 of their allied boxes as well. So I'm looking at like 30 Black Knights and 60 skeletons and 20 Grave Guard and 2 White Kings and an Ark in the Black and I can't even remember what the other one's built as. Like, just sitting there waiting for an extension. So whatever it is, just, stop teasing me. It's like the worst foreplay ever. It's frustrating.
You're getting Warhammer blue balls over there.
I am getting Warhammer blue balls. It's it's not even. It's like GW are robbing me, but with my clothes still on. I don't enjoy it. It just seems like a waste of time.
So this is just like a trip to the strip club for you.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's really.
I don't know if
where are you when I need you? You could just if you could just explain how I feel all the time, that'd be amazing.
I'll just narrate your life for you from now on.
Done. Deal. We can do this. It's going to be good. Whatever it is, it's going to be good because Death are just hungry for it anyway. So even if it's just a couple of models or a new box set of something, like just anything's going to be good. So
yeah,
I don't pay too much attention to those videos because, again, it's just more teasing. So
yeah, I think I'm in the same boat and just waiting till all the videos are out and we know a little more, figure out a little
Amen
more.
to that.
We're at what, like 5 days till the countdown's done?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not much.
The Brothers Glot or whatever video that just came out, I think gave a little bit of insight into what's going on, which is kind of cool. How like Nurgle's trying to rot stuff and Death is like, no, piss off. We don't rot, so fuck you.
Yeah.
They're all mad. Aww.
It would be really interesting to see Nagash be like an anti-hero against Nurgle.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Well, I can't remember who it was that I was watching a cast. Maybe it was Tom and Vince. Who knows? There's so many. Anyway, they were talking about the chances of Nagash teaming up with Order to help take out Chaos, but then like shit goes wrong and somewhere along the lines Nagash turns on Sigmar and blah 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 blah. Stand through the hourglass. These are the days of our lives in Warhammer.
Yeah, that's
so that'd be nice.
I think I could actually see that happening. It's
and from a fluff perspective, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Nurgle's defeated. Well, guess what? Fuck you, Sigmar.
Yeah, I'm gonna take all your things.
Yeah.
Actually, what would be really awesome, but it'll probably never happen because GW hate me, is if they just went, surprise, here's a new Nagash model and a whole bunch of other, like they just re-sculpted all the old sculpts. I'd be pretty stoked with that too.
I don't see that. Maybe.
Yeah, I think a new Nagash model is like totally off the table. I don't think that's a
Oh,
thing.
for at least a millennia. Yeah. I just don't like
I mean,
the
how long did the Warhammer world have to suffer through Clown Nagash? I mean, I think we've got Big Papa Nagash for that long.
Yeah, true. It's come a long way. I don't know. The new one just doesn't tickle my pink bits, if you know what I mean.
He's too skinny.
Well, he is dead.
Yeah. But is he?
No, but like in the artwork and stuff, you see him and he's like this big, broad-chested, like skeleton dude sitting on a throne overlooking all of death. And like you see the model and he's like doing a curtsy and he's fucking stick thin. Like it's just
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I really like the conversions people have done with Nagash, where they like I saw a couple that like they put him like in a throne.
Yeah.
And that looks super cool. I feel like that must have been a conversion that took untold numbers of hours to complete.
Not really.
And I would not want to undertake it, but it came out super cool.
The conversion work's actually not all that hard because of the sections that he's in. Like his legs are separate and his torso is like a separate piece. So you just kind of got to glue those into the chair and then green stuff the gaps and make it all blend together. It's...
I feel you, buddy.
What I'm really hoping for, and I am hinging this all on the little 20-second like pirate ship video. I am really hoping that what we ultimately get is a death release that is like a death version of Caradhran Overlords, where we get like death sky ships.
Let's not do that. Death is like really, really good. Let's not give them a shit ton of shooting. Just fuck that.
I think I've almost got as good a chance of a new Nagash model as you've got of that happening.
Like,
I mean, I'm not saying like give them KO ridiculous shooting. I'm saying give them vehicles that can let them move models around the board.
oh yeah, let's give the units that are bringing D6 models back every hero phase fucking a mode of transportation that's like fucking retarded. Oh, and let's make the ship heal too. It can heal D6 wounds every hero phase too. Why the fuck not, right? Let's
it's coming.
It's coming. They're gonna have some sort of like lightning chariot, but for death.
Yep. It'll be the bone train. Have you ever ridden the bone train?
Yes, the bone train would also be an acceptable alternative.
I would definitely buy two.
Why stop at two? I mean, I think you just need all of the bone trains. You need a bone train for every day of the week.
I'm just not greedy like that, man.
I mean, you need at least one day of rest. Oh, now we have young impressionable ears, and we can't say horrible things for a short period of time.
No, it's all right. She was just coming to let me know that she's changing Peppa Pig.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I've got an 80-inch 4K LED 3D smart TV that I bought to watch all the cool movies on. And you know what it gets used for? Fucking Peppa Pig.
my kids are into that right now too, and I hate every minute of it.
It is I just makes me sad.
And if I gotta watch Paw Patrol one more time, I think I might put my head through a wall.
No, you know what mine is? Octonauts.
Octonauts.
I don't know if you get that or not. It's about a bunch of teddy creatures that like own a submarine and go around helping all the sea creatures. It's just Yeah,
That
I
sounds
think
extraordinarily Australian.
it is so bad. But this morning, the monkey was helping the sea snakes out, and you know, it was all really important and edgy as seat gripping stuff.
Did you explain to your kids that sea snakes probably eat monkeys?
I've tried to explain a few things about it, like that bear would never ever want to hang out with that cat, and that cat would never have a pet bird. But she just looks at me like, "Dad, shut up! Like just watch the show and feel grateful I let you watch it with me." So
that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, I've thankfully my wife and I have a decent amount of control over what our daughter watches, so we keep it to a lot of like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and
wait, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is the worst. Don't they, that's like letting them watch bloody Sesame Street.
I mean, at least it's educational.
Wait, Paw Patrol is crazy educational, right? They learn all about what animal can hold their breath under the ocean the longest. It's the only thing, I think it's close to maybe SpongeBob SquarePants educational level, man. It's the best.
I mean, I guess SpongeBob is educational if you're high out of your mind.
Like Gumby was. Do you guys remember Gumby?
Yeah, I do.
I honestly think that the creators of SpongeBob SquarePants, like, their whole goal was to create a cartoon that adults could sit and watch and laugh at too. Because, like, it has, like, super, like, throwback shit to Ren and Stimpy to me. Like, it just, there's a lot of things about it that remind me of Ren and Stimpy.
And that's so American.
I think that's a lot. That's a lot of children's programming in general. Like, if they're doing it right, they're making the parents not want to kill themselves while they're watching it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm a Disney fan to begin with, but I mean, you can see I'm wearing a Disney shirt at the moment.
That's it. You just encourage them to keep ruining Star Wars, buddy. Way to go. Thanks. On behalf of the entire community, go fuck yourself.
Let's not even get into a conversation about The Last Jedi. I will say my wife is a Star Wars fan. She walked out of The Last Jedi and said, I think this may be the best Star Wars movie that was ever made.
What? That's it. That meeting I promised her with Michael, not ever happening. I'm out.
Yeah.
I loved it, even the second time through. I wouldn't say it was my favorite. Maybe I always want to call it Rogue Squadron. My daughter always corrects me. Rogue One, probably my favorite. I loved it. And I saw Star Wars in the theater because I'm old as hell.
Yeah, you got the old man cred.
Yep.
No, I just think that when my kids are old enough to watch Star Wars, they're going to be like, wow, so we watched the first three and they were terrible. And then we watched the next three, which are the oldest ones, Dad, and they were great. And then Disney took over. What happened, Dad? And I'm going to be like, kids, I'm sorry, I don't know. Don't know what happened.
Here's the reality of what happened. If you watch them in episode order, your kids are going to like the first three, because that's all backed up by more modern canon and all the cartoons and everything are in between episode 2 and 3. And so they have an attachment to all of that stuff. And then they're going to get to 4, 5, 6, and they're going to be like, why the fuck am I watching these ancient movies with no special effects? These are terrible. And they're going to get to, like, Rogue One, 7, 8, 9, and be like, oh, these are good movies. But I don't understand that shit in the middle that was made before I was born.
Oh, you mean the good stuff? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I genuinely think that, like, our children's generation, like the original trilogy, is just going to be dead to them.
And that's exactly when a lot of parents are going to say, well, I'm sorry, but you're dead to me.
That's what I was just going to say.
Like,
That's nice.
like, I've got a 9-year-old son, and if I brought him in here now, he'd be like, Dad, the oldest ones are the best. Everybody knows that. Because he's well educated.
You're clearly doing your job as a parent then.
Yes. Yes, I am. And he wants to play Nurgle. So
Nice.
There you go.
yeah. Actually, I know this is way off topic, but can I just say the thing I'm actually looking forward to the most about that whole Nurgle thing is what people are going to start to do with Slaves to Darkness. I'm really sorry to go off topic and back to Warhammer. How dare I? But I meant to say it earlier, but I was busy putting scotch in my coffee. The Slaves to Darkness, the way that they ally in is so much different to normal like other shit basically, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the cool way that they get utilized with Nurgle. Because Gorby's chariots are ridiculous. And then if they have the survivability of Nurgle and stuff as well, it's going to be great fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Here's what I want to throw out there. The battalion that Tom used, the Plague-Touched Warband, 100 points, and kick out mortal wounds and stuff.
Yeah.
I just want you guys to mull over that those Blight Kings on bloat drones are probably going to be Nurgle units.
Yeah, they will undoubtedly. I think they have to be.
Like, can you imagine like those guys being -1 to hit in close combat, and then on top of that, every roll of a 6 to wound against them is a mortal wound back to you.
And they're supposed to deal out the mortal wounds too, from what was in that article. They're supposed to be the ones that deal out the mortal wounds.
Yeah. So
yeah, and on top of that, like I'll say, I've actually played against a variant of that list, and it also included whatever the Slaneshi Hellstriders or whatever that give you another -1 to hit.
The Hellstriders, yeah, those.
Yeah, so like literally, I mean, I was playing Vanguard Wing against it, right, and so he took whatever the chaos thing is that gives you -1 to hit in the first round.
Oh god, Cunning Deceiver.
Yeah, so I was up against Cunning Deceiver plus that battalion plus all of those Hellstriders, and like I teleport in, not quite knowing what was going on yet, but like generally familiar with the list. I'm like, wait, fuck, I am -3 to hit you. What the fuck?
That's disgusting. I love it.
I would like to point out that I still won that game anyway.
Well, in our 2v2 game last night, David, we took his we popped his AOS cherry. Clothing was optional, and he brought Nurgle demons, and you don't see that much. You don't see Nurgle demons very much. You see a lot more mortal Nurgle. But the disgusting resilience, man, is so good. It is so good. Like he must have saved more than 1 in 3 of every damage that went across the table to him, and shit just lasts, man. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more of the Nurgle demons as well. Because it's not something when somebody brings Nurgle to the table, usually it's mortal. So yeah,
so,
that'll be good.
Do you guys think that new mortal or new Great Unclean one? Do you think we're going to get a new War Scroll for him too?
Well, we're going to have to because of the new weapon.
Yep.
Because I just can't see them FAQing such an important unit. So I'd say they'd have to bring out a new one. And then it's going to be interesting to see if Forge World do anything. Because I know like they're the same business or whatever, but are they going to go, oh shit, they copied us. Let's make something different, guys. It's going to be cooler with blackjack and hookers and stuff. And come out with a really cool new Forge World Great Unclean one down the track as well.
Oh, they might. That's like blackjack.
I like hookers.
All right, boys. I got to work, like super early in the morning, so I've got to go. But it's been a pleasure, and I'll talk to you guys hopefully soon.
Yes, sir. You go lift that barge, tote that bale.
I'll try.
Do the horrible things that the rest of us do not want to do in civilized society for us.
Mate, you just enjoy the cold, and I'm going to go and have a swim after this as well. So I'll be thinking of you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Right.
I appreciate it. Later, guys.
Later. Oh, well, now that Marock's gone, we can all talk shit about Canadians, right?
I thought that was the point, no?
I heard that. Is it like, I can't remember who it was. Someone was saying that they're a bit slower than Americans. It was obviously an American who was telling me this, but I don't see it.
Yeah.
Somebody explained to me the competitive, the whatever it is that Americans and Canadians have. I don't understand it. Is it because you're jealous their snow is so much better than yours, or?
I mean, it's just like I think Canada and the United States just kind of have a friendly rivalry. Americans are always threatening to move to Canada whenever anything bad happens politically.
Canadians are threatening to put up walls.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a Trump thing.
It is.
Yeah, a Trump thing that, I don't know, not to get political, but I don't think the wall's happening.
Never going to happen.
No.
No, there's no animosity between Americans and Canadians, I don't think, besides good old-fashioned rivalry.
Yeah, I think it's a genuine friendly rivalry. Like Canadians rag on Americans, Americans rag on Canadians, and it's kind of the way it is. Like you know, they have
like
hockey.
Australia and New Zealand.
They do have Celine Dion.
They have who?
And the majority of American comedians that are any good are originally Canadian.
The majority of Americans that are any good were originally Canadian, I thought.
That's true.
Yeah. But it's amazing. They all move south to have a better life and gain their fame and fortune. So
No, it's just American women need to know what a real man looks like, so the Canadians move into.
That hurt me in the feelings department.
You're all welcome, mate. I live in Australia. All right. What do you want from me?
yeah, you're in like the mecca of alpha male. Like that is not like a fair comparison at all.
Yeah, like we open our beers with our eye socket down here. It's just how we do things.
Yeah.
I use my wedding ring. I like that one. One of my
That is a good
choice.
Yeah. I always she thinks it's funny when I say the best reason to get married, and I pop off the cap with my wedding ring.
Yeah. Unfortunately, mine's a little too rounded to do that. Doesn't quite work.
No.
Unfortunately, my wife would probably kill me if I did that.
Yeah, I have a tungsten carbide wedding ring, so like I'm not worried about damaging it at all.
Sure,
What?
Yeah.
So with your whole Stormcast, Paul, are you gone now? Have Free Guild lost you, buddy?
I am
You're amongst friends. You can be honest.
I've been playing both. I've been going between the two, strategizing between the two. The bitch of the thing is that Free Guild just requires way more painting than I'm really willing to do. So it's kind of like a slow grow at this point, and by the time I like figure out what's actually good in Free Guild, we'll probably have GHB 2018 and the whole fucking thing will change again, and who knows.
Fair enough. Mate, I'm loving them, eh? Like, they're so good still. I took 60 of them in a game last night, and when they're in that great company and they've got pipers, they're so good. Yes, they're so good. I love them. I absolutely love them still. Like I haven't touched my Stormcast in so long. I feel like you sort of we're losing you, Paul. You need to come back to the free guild, buddy. Drop your 30 liberators off at a friend's place.
Like, the lists I was playing with free guild like don't work anymore. So, and I'm not really too keen on like a really like horde infantry heavy army. So like Stormcast just does more of what I'm actually looking for. It's the same army but elite as free guild. It's basically the same thing.
Did your mother ever tell you, son, don't change for any woman. If she wants you to change, then she's not the right one for you. Are you doing that? Do I need to give you that talk about Warhammer related?
Like, listen, the woman changed. That's the problem. When they change, you're allowed to move on.
You don't, but you. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Send me all your handgunners then. I'll trade you. I'll send you all of my Stormcast. I'll send you my Stormcast, buddy, and you send me your free guild. All right.
All right. Important question. Who painted your Stormcast?
Brinley.
Oh, okay, then I'll accept them.
Oh, fuck you. Deal. Wait a second. Who painted your free guild?
I did.
I'll need to think about it.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. My free guild paint jobs are not the best. They were mostly my really early paint jobs. And then since then has been mostly rushed paint jobs.
You watch this. You're gonna drop all that cash into Stormcast, and then the conglomerate arcane or whatever it is gonna drop, and you're gonna go, God damn it.
I mean, I'm prepped for that too. I've got my my wizard on Griffin. I've got my Hurricanum. I've got my Luminarch. And I've got 8 wizards on foot. I'm ready to go.
Fair enough, fair enough. I've got a couple of wizards that I don't know what to do with. They're the old metal ones too.
Yeah.
With the really shitty poses.
Yeah, I was really disappointed that we didn't get a wizard on horseback option.
I've got one. I've got a wizard on horseback.
I have a few, and I haven't even been able to sell them on eBay.
Sell them to those. There's like 6 people that still play Ninth Age, and they'll buy them.
I was shocked. Last GT that I went to, there was also a Ninth Age event. There was 22 people for AOS. There was 20 people for Ninth Age.
Mm.
I was absolutely shocked that number of people showed up for Ninth Age. And I think it was mostly because that was probably the only Ninth Age event within a 12-hour drive of them for the past year.
Wow.
Poor Ninth Age. I never give it a
Shit's
shot.
gone downhill.
I think it was a shitty idea from the start, and it just kind of went downhill from there. Like by the way, I'm like already almost to the bottom of this like quadruple gin and tonic, and I had a shot before this, so you're just getting pure unfiltered me at this point.
Yeah.
Like fuck Ninth Age. Like that was like seriously, like that is the greatest.
PaulMConti.
Ninth Age is like the greatest nerd tantrum since like the burning of the army.
Dude, you do realize what's going to happen now? Some upset nerd is going to ask his mum to drop him off at the train station so he can find you in a car park and try to shank you with a sharpened freaking tree or some shit from his terrain pieces.
Either that or give you a down thumb on this video.
Yeah, you're going to get all 6 of them are going to thumbs down you now.
I can give them some up fingers, and I'm totally cool with that. This is basically how I feel about Ninth Age and everything to do with it. my experience with ninth age players that I have encountered and experienced has been that they are entirely douchey and not nice to AOS players. Talk down to ninth AOS or talk down to AOS players. Like if you want to play a different game and like that's cool, you don't like AOS, that's fine. It's fine to not like a game. But to be a shitty person about it is a completely different story, and that is basically all I have encountered from the night.
Dude, you're going about it all the wrong way. I think that we need to find like an old basketball court somewhere and just fucking West Side Story it one day.
When you reject, you reject.
Yeah, that's it, man. I'd be totally keen for that. They'd be outnumbered like 1,000 to 1. You know, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, and they'd be so busy deciding how many dice they're going to use in their magic phase that we could just shank them.
Yeah, dude, see, right now somebody is writing a very angry letter and they won't care if you don't read it.
Yes.
So now that we've insulted the minority, does anybody know any good Jew jokes, or are we done? Because
I mean, I worked in public accounting for like 8 years. I've got a mountain of Jew jokes if you'd like.
I am not going there. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure there may be Jewish in me. I'm not going to lie. I'm playing Far Cry at the same time at the moment. By the way. I'm trying to run away from some saber-toothed tiger thing. Somebody told me I should give it a shot. I can't remember who that person was, but fuck you, this game's terrible. Whoever you were. It was somebody.
I've pretty much just given up on video games. Like, something happened to video games somewhere along the line, and it's just not the same as it used to be. And I, like, being an old man now, I just don't like the direction that it's gone in. And, just keep giving me new levels for like Mario 3 and Super Mario World, and we're cool. Like new Zelda levels, like reminiscent of like Ocarina of Time, were cool. Much beyond that, and I'm like,
you might be right. I think that might actually be your problem, is that you're old.
You are pretty old.
You are pretty damn old.
Yeah. It happens. You eventually get old and you get anchored into the old things that you're into, and I mean Civilization 6 is out and I'm still playing Civilization 4 occasionally.
I can remember the original Zelda. Playing that was awful.
Yeah. That is like the most impossible game ever made.
Yep. I don't play a lot of video games either. I'd rather like paint. I've been playing Pillars of Eternity a lot lately. I just want to shut my brain off more, but it's been fun.
I've been playing Vermintide because I'm waiting for the new one to come out.
God, I have that. I haven't played it yet.
It is such a good fun game. Like, it really is. It's really good fun.
Yeah.
If you get the chance, that's what I would say to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, gone are the days of the old school games, buddy.
So bringing this back around to AOS, like this, cast is originally supposed to be about, I guess, in theory, other than just getting hammered, which I am in a very nice toasty place right now, and I'm about to pour myself another drink. So obviously, with anything, we're obviously getting another Stormcast release with Malign Portents and all of that shit.
Oh, that'd be right.
We get a new Stormcast release with fucking everything.
Yep.
So what's the new Stormcast release?
Maybe it is the Deathcast. Maybe.
But that's not Stormcast.
Good enough.
I would like to see.
On Deathcast is actually, I think they're going to go in the opposite direction with it.
You know what?
I think
Relictor Chamber or whatever it is. They're going to do more with Relictors, I think, because they're supposed to be tied into Shaiish.
Yeah, I think what we're going to get is like the opposite. Like, I think what is going to happen is that chamber, I forget what chamber it is, that's supposed to be like the guys that have been reborn so many times that they've like lost all of their identity, and they're like supposed to be like the most susceptible to being like taken over by death, that like the people that they think they're going to be the Deathcast Eternals. I think they're going to end up being like the opposite of that. I think they're going to be like the leaders in the fight against death, because they've died so many times they don't fear death.
Maybe. I mean,
See, I'd like something more subtle. I'd like them to do what they've done with, like, when you look at things like Chaos Marauders and things like that, where you've got weapons choices and all of that. I'd like to see them go, hey, we're bringing out a new weapon option for Liberators, flails and shields. And hey, we're bringing out a new paladin, and have them like a knight with a big ass shield and a spear or a trident or something like that, or maybe find like a lost chapter. I'd like it to be something that's not massively game changing, but just like this subtle addition to make what they've already got more flexible. And I'm not saying it's not already flexible, because shit, man, you've got swords, double hammers, shields and hammers and all that sort of thing. But I'm kind of starting to get over this whole hammer thing. Like I really am. I think it'd be really cool. I was watching an animated video the other day of some character from the Diablo game, and he's like this holy paladin dude, and he's got this massive piss-off shield that's like easily his height, and this gigantic flail. And it'd be cool to see something like that as well for the Stormcast, because I'm just sick of seeing fucking hammers. And it's not like they need any more heroes, and they don't need any more, battle line or anything like that. They've got Liberators, they've got Judicators. So I don't know. I'd just like to see subtle changes. Nothing that's going to make me have to go out and buy a new battle tome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to get new Battle Tome level stuff. I think we're just going to get, new releases of some sort.
It's getting to the point now where it's just ridiculous, though, the amount that they've actually... Like, I understand they're the poster boys and everything, but Jesus Christ, there's a lot. You look at the General's Handbook, and you go through, like, let's see what the points are for everything. And Stormcast has... like this massive collection of things, and then you look at all the other order factions, and some of them are fucking tiny. I really don't think they should add any more to that. I think they should just build on what they've got and make what they've got awesomer.
Yeah, I mean, Stormcast got 2 full pages.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Now, I'm a Stormcast player, and even I think that's nuts.
Fair enough.
I get it though. It was the cash train, like Choo Choo and all that. They really cashed in on it all. But
oh yeah,
there's got to be a point where they're like, okay, guys, yeah, we've saturated that enough now. Let's just build on what, because if they bring out another hero, I probably won't. Like, what's her name? The one that that chick hero, I can't even remember. Maeve. Yeah. Like, I didn't even buy her. I was like, nah, fuck it. I've got enough. I've got enough bloody heroes. I don't see the need for them all anymore. There's just too many. All you need is 3 Relictors and a Celestin, and you're good.
Yeah, the
I think Maeve was unnecessary to most armies. I don't really know what her place was. She's like looks good on the face, but when you actually try and put her in a Stormcast army, I don't know where she goes.
Vanguard.
Yeah.
Totally
yeah.
Vanguard.
Yeah, if you run a total Vanguard force, I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, I really don't know where she goes.
Yeah, no idea. No idea. I don't know. I think they were, I don't know, trying to do the whole, oh, we need a female character to whatever. I think people complain about there not being enough female characters or something like that. But yeah, it just seems to be, like I've seen enough. I've seen enough heroes. I'm not. You're not getting any more of my money on Stormcast heroes. Sorry, GW.
Then you had to buy the $100 box to get the hero, even.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? If you,
right?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. If they bring out ways for me to make my army more unique, so that I'm not playing the exact same army as every other Stormcast player, you will get my money. Like I will be there and I will buy that shit because there comes a point where you're like, yeah, my army is competitive and it's strong, and now I want to make it look different and stuff like that. And you notice there's a lot of GW, like a lot of like mono poses and shit for Stormcast still. So if they could make a way to change that and personalize your army more, then they're definitely going to get more money out of me anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, I played mine a few times in the tournament, and I'm kind of done with them.
Yeah, if Brinley hadn't spent so much time painting them, I'd probably sell mine.
Yep.
If somebody else hadn't spent so much time painting your army, you would sell them.
Brinley's such a legend, though. He's a really good painter, actually. And he's a filthy towel player.
Him for his paint jobs, or does he just do it because he likes it?
I pay him in under the table wristies and life advice. Really. No. We have a deal, but because he knows that I just can't paint to save myself, and I know that he can't edit tutorials to save himself. So we're like, yeah, we can sort this out. But yeah, he's actually a really good painter, and he plays Tau. He's got more communist space fish than anyone else I've ever seen. So dirty 40k player.
So you're not a 40k player at all?
I'm not. I had some Primaris Marines and I had some Grey Knights, and I never played with either of them, so I sold them. That's it. I found the free guild bug and got rid of any 40k stuff that I may have had and just bought free guild. Never look back.
Do it.
Yeah, man. Never look back.
Question for you: how many Griffins do you own?
3.
And do you field all 3?
God, no. No, two's the magic number. Any more than that, and I feel like it's too much of a points investment. So they're cheap, but you don't want to use. Yeah, I can't justify 3 of them. And besides, after when you get to the 3rd one, you kind of run out of useful artifacts to give them as well. Anyway, so
yeah.
You only
So
played
there is
one
that.
last time, right?
Say again. Sorry.
I was gonna say Paul only played 1 last time, right? 1.
Well, I only own 1 proper Griffin right now. I have 2 other Griffins that are converted High Elf Griffins. And in comparison, they just look like total dog shit, so I really don't want to put them on the table.
Fair enough.
I like the one that I did. Like, I did a big conversion one for the Wizard on a Griffin. Like, I like how that one came out. But as far as General on a Griffin, I have one that's a conversion from a High Elf Griffin, and it just does not even hold a candle to the proper Griffin. So
I think we just got to look at a build over there.
Yeah. I got like 3 shells of fucking.
It's on my list of things to purchase. Is at least 1 more Griffin, possibly 2.
Well, you know what would really fund that quite easily? Getting rid of all that shitty Stormcast.
There you go.
I'm just saying, man. Like, there's so many Vanguard wings out there. So many. It's like Team Mums. They're everywhere. But is it all about winning? Is that all? Is that all AOS is to you? Winning?
I mean, that's all life is to me, is winning.
Free Guild are still tough. You know what? I would like to play against Vanguard with my Free Guild because I reckon I could still do it.
You would. I feel like Vanguard wing against Free Guild, like Free Guild would just win hands down. Like if you deployed properly, if you set up properly, Vanguard wing stands no chance.
Denied flank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you just circle up with all of your sword and shield dudes, and you put like 40 handgunners inside the circle. And like, okay, teleport in, and I'll like set my guys up in a way that you can't jump my lines, and then I will just shoot the living piss out of you, and my guys are just as tough as yours, and so I'm not gonna lose any guys any more than you are, except for the fact that my handgunners are gonna just fucking light them up turn after turn.
The trouble you work into there is mobility, getting those objectives. That's the only trick, and I guess the Griffins help.
Yeah,
pull enough stuff all over the board to soften them up for those Griffins.
Yeah, I mean, it really the philosophy that I'm kind of working under right now is, and I'm gonna have to see if it's right or wrong, but like, if you get a massive advantage on the table in terms of like board control, like models on the table, like points on the table, I feel like that's like, if you can get that advantage early enough in the game, then it doesn't matter what happens later in the game. Like, you'll get the objectives just by like default if you kill all their shit.
They can't kill all their stuff, then the game's over.
Yeah.
Then you lose. But yeah, if you get 1 or 2 objectives and you kill the rest of their stuff, I played that game before. It works.
Yeah. I think at the moment I can't. So for me, the biggest weakness for the Free Guild guys is Seraphon. Like, they suck against Seraphon. Well, they don't suck against them. It's just the reason handgunners are so good is because they push out so much shots with that rend. But once that rend is ignored, armies can usually sort of deflect a lot of the damage real easily. So against other stuff, they're fine. But their fellow order guys is where they kind of fall short. Luckily, Stormcast don't really have any way of dealing with rend as well. So I'm happy to play a Vanguard wing against a Vanguard wing with Free Guild, and I think over here we have a Free Guild player who's in the top 10. Competed in the Grand Masters, the Masters tournament here in Australia recently. So they're still around, and I think that if more people played them, I think they'd start to realise just how cool Pantaloons can be. And I'm just so tired of seeing so much Vanguard wing. Like, there's only so much. It's worse than like blood letter bombs and freaking Chaos Demons. Like, you just see so many. Like, yeah, like even Skyfires. Like, you don't see them as frequently as you see a bloody Vanguard wing these days. Like,
yeah.
At least Paul's painting his all nice and special.
Vanguard wing is inexpensive to put together and easy to play. So, I mean, I think it's kind of like this automatic choice.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just the thing about Warhammer as well is variety. I feel like we're taking away the variety from ourselves. Just makes me sad. Makes me sad.
I mean, I don't think we're taking the variety away from ourselves. I think it's GW's War Scroll writing that's taking the variety away from us. It's certain competitive
the writer.
Giant rock, paper, scissors game.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, whoever you get, you take like a tier 1 list to a tournament, and it's just like rock, paper, scissors. Who do you face?
Yeah.
3 or 5 rounds of a GT, and if you face all good matchups, you win. If you hit rough matchups, you lose.
Yeah. Yeah, fickle. I just, I don't know. It's lost its appeal. It was cool at the start, but now that I've seen it so much, I think it's not as strong as it used to be now, though, either, because people have started to click on to how to deal with it. Like, we just, right then, we started talking about it, and straight away, it was, no, that's easy to beat as free guild. You just blah, 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 blah. And, you know, straight away, that's how you deal with it. And a lot of other armies are saying the same thing. Oh, well, that's easy to deal with now. All I need to do is blah, 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 blah. So it's going to get to the point soon where there's just so much of it that everybody just knows how to deal with it. And then I reckon this time next year, you'll be able to buy 10 Liberators on eBay for $1 a model. Because everyone will just be going, fuck, I got too many Liberators. Everyone knows how to kill Vanguard Wing now. I might as well get rid of some. Like,
you can get Liberators for $1 a model now.
Oh, there you go for 50 cents then. Like, they're just going to... We shall see.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 25 Liberators.
Damn. Yeah, I got 30 of them, but I don't use them. Like, just, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's variants to Vanguard Wing, but I don't know how good any of them necessarily are. Like, I really don't like the variant that includes the Star Drake. Like, I think that's less than optimal.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, we've talked about this offline quite a lot, and the different battalions, and trying to take 2 battalions and things like that. And I've seen a few now. Like, you know, you see ones with a Star Drake, or you see ones with a Luminarch, or you see ones with, you know, there's a whole bunch of different options. And I think that most of the ones without the Star Drake tend to be a bit more easy on the points, and a bit easier to get a real massive army on the table. But there's something about the Star Drake as well, man. Like, once that thing gets down into combat, it defies mathematics with dice sometimes, and it's hard to explain. It's pretty good still.
Paul doesn't like that.
I know. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. You see his eyes start to twitch. He's like,
yeah, I mean, law of large numbers will eventually even it all out.
Yeah. I've got to go and put my daughter to afternoon nap time, which is short for, I'm pretty sure I've just scored myself some afternoon nap time as well. So I'm going to have to jet.
That is that's a solid excuse for a nap right there. I fully endorse that.
I know, right? What I'm going to do. All right, boys. Thank you very much for having me. And Paul, we'll talk again soon, buddy.
All right. It's been a pleasure as always, sir.
Yeah. Catch you later from Australia. Fucking spot on, boys. See you later.
Keep it keen, brother.
Fucking oath. See you, bruss.
Where to ham up the Australia?
Yeah. What I really want is like the Ultimate Intercontinental Edition. I want to get somebody from Europe on here too, so we got like 3 continents represented.
I like that. Yep.
But I don't know. The time zone differences are just rough.
Yeah. Especially with kids that have to go to bed at a certain time and starting late.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we can get Mr. Remington Steele on here. He keeps the rock star lifestyle.
Oh yeah. I don't think Rob sleeps too much either. Rob, formerly of Warhammer TV, he seems to be up all hours too.
I don't know. I haven't really noticed, but he also seems to be like up for whatever. So I feel like if we extend an invitation, he may find his way on here.
Yep, come hang out.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of what other topics we had to potentially discuss. I think we had a really interesting discussion the other night over our game with Mr. Scott R. about tournament scoring and the nature of GTs and all of that stuff. That was an interesting insight. For those who don't know, he's the guy that's running LVO this year, and he's a frequent contributor to like the PMP and various other forums and things like that. And he happens to have family in our area, so he's here frequently and is like, hey, like, let's get a game and save me from my family. So
jerk.
We got a game with him the other night and got kind of some inside scoop on like what's going on with LVO and his perspective on tournaments, which I thought was really interesting. I mean, what I think is really interesting is this divide there seems to be in the community between tournament players that really just care about the win-loss ratio and deciding like strictly based on like a win-loss tie sort of system, like who the best player is, and the older system of like including paint scores and soft scores and all of that stuff to decide like an overall victor of a GT on metrics beyond just who won the most games.
And I like that, but I think it's also objective, depends on the judge. And I think the people that like I got this many points and I won straight up, like points don't like that, the variable, the human element.
And you know what I think is really the divider for me is that we have this clear division. Like, forget open play for a minute, because I mean, I think in terms of like organized events, open play is not a thing.
Never have, no.
But in an organized event, you have narrative play and you have match play, right? And I think if you're going in a narrative play route, then having soft scores, having like sportsmanship and painting being really like a heavy influence in what your event outcome is, like I think that really makes sense there.
Yep.
But if you're going in a match play environment, I think it needs to be like separated out.
Yep.
Like you have like a separate award for painting and a separate award for sportsmanship that doesn't have anything to do with the overall victor of the tournament.
That's the way it actually used to be around in New England. It used to be a lot of places did it that way. You're the best painted, you have the best sports, and you have the best general, which was fun because you can play all three different ways.
Yeah.
That's
I would honestly really like to see the narrative events take off more.
I'm thinking the same way. It'd be fun.
Yeah, and I have absolutely no problem with playing to narrative events, and I wish we had more of them going on. It really makes me think about like tapping into the Neo community and seeing like what's going on there and how to like kick off events here.
I have had that I have been looking at what the Neos are doing a lot, and helped get that Neo event that was here going on. I'd like to do a lot more of that. I think it'd be cool if we had in our area 2 Age of Sigmar events a month, or even every other month. One being Hammer Smash tournament, and the other one being a cool narrative event. Bring whatever models you have. Let's have fun. We're gonna do something crazy.
Yeah. And the narrative events they invite crazy. They invite the wild things in Age of Sigmar that are really fun.
Who's gonna show up with 40 sewer rats, giant rats?
Yeah.
Nobody. I showed up with 40 giant rats and had a great time. So the Neo event. Yep.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just a matter of setting the parameters for an event. And, we have this flexible game system where we have the opportunity to have like alternative ways to determine a winner, alternative ways to create the gameplay that's not just go out and kill stuff, go out and capture objectives, that we can create a narrative element to it. And there's a lot of material out there to do that. That's just published by GW. Now, let alone all of the other stuff that's being produced by all of the other, narrative event organizers.
I think about that a lot. Like, it'd be fun to switch gears. I think of myself as loving every aspect of the hobby. I love points-based, kill the shit out of people tournament. I love a nice narrative events where you show up with a fluffy army. I love building and painting something crazy. I think my Squig army fits right in the middle of all that.
Mm-hmm. And so does your Skaven army, really.
Yep. Except for Wednesday.
Yeah, except for the fact that it's all Clan Skyer, and it's really awesome conversions and beautiful painting and beautiful army, but Jesus Christ, will that just fuck everybody in the ass because it's Clan Skyer.
Oh, it was terrible. I felt freaking awful. I'm laughing about it now, but I felt I just can't stop thinking about how awful that was. I never thought, even looking at that, I hadn't played it before. I hadn't even really thought about it much until I showed up. I didn't think it was that awful.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of rats just spiked Scarbrand.
Yep.
Yeah. That shouldn't happen.
No.
He's like the greatest of the greater demons.
Yep, and they rolled up and punched him a lot. And just the more...
Yeah, they punched the ever-loving piss out of him.
Yeah. The amount of mortal wounds that I was putting out was gross. That was a definite...
Yeah, and then, like, attacks at Rend, too?
Yep.
It's just like, ouch.
I honestly, I even decide, like... I was using my converted, counted as ogres, and I haven't even thought about what I was going to count their weapon test, and I chose the first weapon line, which was I don't remember. It wasn't the shock gauntlets; it was the other one. But they were crazy. It was just it was kind of like fun to say, oh, now I know what they're going to do in a tournament, but it was not fun to show up to a friendly game with somebody I'd never met before.
Yeah, that's not even playing his own army.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scott. We apologize.
God, it was last minute. We were meeting at 6:00. It was 5:30. I changed my mind. I said, all right, what do I have painted and what's a small model count? I'll do Clan Scryer. And it was just, I felt bad. And that's why you should have charged me right away.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how was, like, Scarbrand YOLO on top of the objective, like, not the right move?
I don't know.
I mean, it seemed like it should have been.
Yep.
Like, that seems like that should have been the most fun thing to do. Like, okay, I go first. Scarbrand YOLO objective. Come get me, bro.
They did.
And you just like spike him. Like, how the fuck does that happen?
He didn't even get the swing. I felt that felt bad too, because it's fun to bring Scarbrand and do fun stuff, and I was like, oh, he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever seen Scarbrand connect before?
No, that's would have been fun. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, I did that in geez, what event was that? You know what it was? It was the big global Neo event.
Yeah. Yep.
Coalescence.
Yep.
I brought Scarbrand to that, and like that was where he made his YOLO move. Like I feel like Scarbrand is just like the YOLO demon. He just goes like straight up the middle, and he's like, "You want to fuck with me? Bad shit's gonna happen to you."
Yeah, that was a fun event to take stuff, like I mentioned, the giant rats, stuff I never use, and just like play with it, see what happens. And the giant rats were like game winners. It was crazy. They're so
yeah. Like it when you put different parameters on the game, like different things become strong.
Yep.
It's all a matter of what the framework is that you put things in, and suddenly the weak become strong, the strong become weak, and it's totally different.
Yep. Yeah, that's why it's fun to use all the modes of play, and as much as we both love match play, not play it all the time.
Yeah. And I mean, like the thing that we've been talking about, doing like a hero hammer game that's just all heroes, no battle line, no other bullshit, just
2,000 points of heroes.
2,000 points of heroes. Make that happen.
Everyone can use command abilities. That seems like craziness. It seems like fun. Hero.
Yeah, Khorne versus Stormcast. Let's do it.
Yep, we have to do that one. That'll be fun. And that might even make a fun, like, show up with your heroes, 500 points, whatever, bring whatever you got locally, sort of an event.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's just not enough factions that have enough heroes to support that.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I don't know. I'd love for there to be more local events. I think if there was more stuff going on, I think more people would play.
Yes. And I think we have, at least in our area, we have just a tournament organization problem. Like we have, like everybody wants to play the game and nobody wants to organize the events.
That's the trouble. Yep. So I think we're gonna have to.
Somebody's going to bite the bullet and just say, I'm organizing an event.
Yep. Could even trade off with people, but.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that may be the thing that we need to do, is just trade off and figure stuff out. Yeah. I don't know. It seems bad when like the same people are always organizing events and they don't get to play.
Yep. I'm sure they're not happy about it.
Yeah. It's not the way to go down.
We have so many stores around here too. It's crazy. We have 3 stores that are within 40 minutes?
4.
4. What's the 4th store?
GW.
Yeah, we have a Games Workshop too.
Yeah, we have a Games Workshop store that doesn't do shit, by the way.
I know. I was down there the other day.
Yeah. They don't promote AOS at all.
Yep.
They just let 40K roll.
It's funny. I went down there. It was my birthday. I went down there to hang out because I had the day off from work. And I ended up teaching somebody how to play Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
That made my day right there. It was cool because they probably don't have many Age of Sigmar players, so they were kind of teaching them 40K. But I knew what was going on. I had fun teaching them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, it is 11 p.m. We have been doing this for like 2 hours now, just BSing about Age of Sigmar and bullshit. I have consumed copious amounts of alcohol. I would just like to point out this bottle of gin right here. This was full when I started.
Pretty good.
So I'm going to go pass out in bed. I am going to go piss like a racehorse first.
That's what I'm going to go do. So hopefully we'll be doing this at least once a week, or once a week as much as we can. Friday nights, maybe we'll start to get more of a structure going on and people coming on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see. Apparently, we have 3 viewers currently. I have not been paying attention to the chat. I apologize to anybody in the chat that's been like asking questions, making comments. I have not been paying any fucking attention at all.
I've had it open on my screen, so I've been saying hi.
All right. That's good. I'm glad somebody has been paying attention to those poor neglected souls because I am fucking wasted. I've got 2 flights of stairs to make it up to my bed right now, and that feels like a substantial risk for me. So I'm gonna go try and crawl into bed.
Yeah, I've done a pretty good job on these Death Vikings. I've had 3 of them. They're 10%. They're pretty good.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Hit the head at least.
Anyway. Well, I think that just about wraps it up for the evening. Thank you to everybody that's watched. Thank you for everybody that's joined. We'll be having more fun in the future. I gotta go take a piss like a racehorse.
You gotta get a gallon milk jug, make trucker bombs.
All right. Well, anyway, we will see you all later. Thanks for joining us. It's been fun. More WarHAMMERED, perhaps, in the future.
Yep, I think so.
We'll see how I feel about this in the morning. All right. Later, everybody.
Later.